Hello, everybody. Good afternoon to you. So maybe slowly, if you guys could just confirm that you can hear me properly. Welcome, every one of you. It is such a pleasure for us to be here together once again. I dare say it's been a long time, and it is quite important for us to be in this moment connected. So if you are at your place right now, at your home, you've just joined the live, make yourself a favor, close your eyes, and let's start this special moment with a small meditation, with a small prayer. Let's elevate our thoughts, elevate our minds, elevate our intentions, our emotions to a higher place. A place where we feel whole, we feel integral, we feel loved, cared for, protected. Place that we need nothing but just to exist, to be there, to be in union with ourselves, to be in union with our Master Jesus. Place that will renew our faith in better days, faith that we can overcome anything and everything. And being and feel how it is to be surrounded by this great energy. We feel the environment. We ask our mentors and guides to perform a cleansing in our homes, in our houses, in every single room. To perform a full cleansing in our families. To leave behind any disagreements. And all that matters now, all that matters today, it's you, it's me in this place right now. So let's then ask permission for us to start our lecture of today. Thanks God, thanks Jesus. Hello everybody, hello. So it's with a great pleasure that I come to you today to talk about faith. Faith is a big word that we always use, especially when it comes to, I guess, our religious practices, our religious beliefs. Faith is a common word we use to describe the action to believe in something so strongly that we never doubt about that certain thing. It is exactly, I guess, perhaps for us to comprehend faith, to understand it in a much more deeper sense, that I've challenged myself throughout these last few days to perhaps bring something deeper for us today. It's perhaps going to be, could be challenging, could be a bit questioning, but I think it's necessary. So faith is something so good if when we talk to somebody that actually lives through faith. We often see people describing their own experiences when they live a faithful life, that we often maybe say, wow, it would be such an amazing thing to live like this person lives, and to have the courage and the unquestionable belief that I can see he or she has, would make my life so perhaps much simpler, and would bring me so much more confidence and empowerment. And after I already asked myself, is that even possible? How do I get there? What's the mystery of faith? Well, when I've been thinking about it, I've been, to be honest, experiencing my own life throughout the last years, months, weeks, days, hours. And the more I think about it, I haven't yet come to a final, answer for it. But I'm certainly learning as I go. That's for sure. And one thing I've learned recently, or maybe a realization and a compilation of conclusions that was probably only possible throughout the fact that I've lived through a few experiences, like I know you watching me right now have lived through experiences as well, is that faith doesn't come for free. It is not possible to just wish for faith. It is not possible just to desire faith, to pray to be more faithful, if we don't actually live according to somebody that would like to acquire, to gain, to develop, to conquer more faith. And what do I mean by that? Well, faith is a result of intentional energy, intentional thought, a purposeful, dedicated effort towards something. See, I've just mentioned the word effort. Focus, dedicated effort. And everything that we know is surrounded, or it goes around the word effort. It means that we've got to do something for it. It doesn't come for free. It doesn't just fall from the sky. It's suddenly I wake up a day and I feel an immense fulfilling, sensation of peace and love and faith in my heart. That doesn't happen like that. The unconditional love we all search for, faith that we so desperately desire, and we talk so much about it, can only come in reality if we put an action to get to faith, to more faith. And here I know it's going to be perhaps for some a bit of a cliche reflection, but it is also a true reflection, is that in our daily lives we spend so much time. Think about how long do we spend in every single day in our existence, maybe looking at our mobile phones, or looking at the news, or looking at Instagram or whatever. And there's particularly perhaps nothing wrong with that. We live on a worldly, bodily existence. So we've got to be and live in the world without necessarily being on the world, right? And that requires certainly a balance, requires a conscious decision about what does that mean really. And the truth is, we struggle to find balance between this big amount of inputs coming to our brains via the social media, via the news, via the many different sources that we get information from, But we don't actually balance this input, which is unfortunately not always positive, unfortunately not always supportive of you and me building up more faith, more belief, more self-confidence, more confidence in our own internal power. Rather the opposite, most of those news and some of those information that we come across, they have either very obvious or very hidden messages that reinforce perhaps negativity, perhaps that happiness comes from acquisitions. Happiness comes from your beauty, your external bodily beauty, or happiness comes from acquisition of material things, or happiness comes from our intellectual evolution. And there is again nothing wrong with being exposed to that. Once again, we don't want to create all of us being segregated from the real world that we all live in. However, it is necessary to realize that we need to balance that out with moments that you can call yourself whatever it fits your particular taste and beliefs. Moments of prayer, moments of concentration, moments of quietness, moments of fullness, moments of self-discovery, moments of inner travel, moments of self-love. See, there are multiple names to actually qualify a particular time in the day, or times, perhaps many, in which for a few minutes, there is no rule about how long those moments need to be, you and me would stop everything, would perhaps close our eyes, and would try to detach ourselves from this bodily existence and to really raise our mind and our awareness to our spiritual existence. And when we do that, when we close our eyes, when we try to really, as if we could, disconnect the real life pieces and imagine ourselves as the same person, the same being, but now ready to really live a spiritual relationship with God, with Jesus. And in doing that, we can always inspire ourselves and start talking to God. Start talking to our inner self, if you prefer to call that way. Those conversations, they typically will review or uncover the things that are unsettling us. Maybe the pain, maybe the suffering, maybe the frustration, maybe the disillusion. And in uncovering those feelings, in uncovering those struggles, we become vulnerable in front of God. Because there we are fully naked in the spiritual sense of the word. And when we are vulnerable, we are our true selves. We have no masks. We have no beautiful coverings. We are who we are. We are what we are. And that's the state in which I can truly look at my potentials, truly look at my skills, truly look at the power that I know I have within myself. That's exactly the state that I need to use to boost and talk to myself and put myself in a position of strength. If I need to overcome a specific struggle in my life, that's where I'm gonna have that courageous speech and talk to myself, knowing that the resolution of the problem is within me. I just need to trust myself. Faith then comes as this feeling of peace, feeling of trust that things will happen the way they have to happen. When we have a lot of faith, when our faith is strong, we're not anxious people, because anxiety comes from a place of wanting to control an outcome on the way we see the outcome needs to be, isn't it? Whereas faith has the confidence. Faith brings the calmness, the peace, that things will take their course no matter what. And no matter whether the course is exactly to that direction or this direction, the other direction, it's fine. It's fine because it's meant to be. There is a higher purpose for that. However, this is where perhaps the other realization is that we don't need to, and we actually shouldn't, just think that everything that comes to our lives that is actually perhaps putting challenges in front of us, we can just throw out to the universe and say, well, I wish that the best happens, and whatever happens, I trust is the universe's wish, God's wish. But the question is, why don't we use that same opportunity to also express in those moments of prayer and loneliness to our own soul, what do we want? Why do I want? Surely you and me know we can't control the outcomes. There could be outcomes of a certain problem that goes beyond our level or capabilities of understanding, for sure. But if I want something, I can put my focus, my desire, my intention towards that something. And if it's meant to be, then it will be granted to us. But if it isn't meant to be, I'm sure in that peaceful, confident, calm place, there is also a very good place for understanding. We would potentially very well understand, even though I desire, even though I wish. Comprehension comes from the same place. Because faith isn't a conditional faith. Faith isn't the belief and the confidence we have on something only if it happens the way I want it to happen. Faith goes well beyond our personal desires or the way we think things should happen. Faith actually brings us the confidence, the calmness, to perhaps be able to understand, to absorb, to have the tools to cope with any outcome. That's the faith we want to foster. That's the faith we want to develop. Because that's sustainable faith. That's powerful faith. That's the real faith. So I hope these reflections for you are as meaningful as they have been for me on the last few days. If I desire something, I put my mind to it. I create focused, constant effort, intention towards what I want. But knowing that I'm also ready to accept, to comprehend, then to move on, whatever the outcome is. Now take back to our physical existence with our daily topics, our normal life. Can you start to visualize if we go on this higher place on a daily basis and we're able to balance all the challenges and the negativities and the hidden messages that we are constantly bombarded with from our beautiful planet Earth? If we balance those with this higher, powerful exercise we've all just shared together now, could you see how your life and my life could probably be better balanced? Because I'm sure the experience of confidence, the experience of calmness that comes from such a prayer, from such a meditation, from such experience of being there, we can transport that back to our daily tasks. So we get less irritated, we get less, dissatisfied, we get less angry with stuff because it didn't happen the way we want it to happen, or it's happening in a way that I can't control. Well, what I've been able to work out is every time I get angry about something, every time I get really off my center, is because it's a sign that my faith is actually weak. It's a sign that you and me can have. So what do we take away from today's discussion, I guess then? Well, I wish that you take away, because I already took that away anyway from having this fantastic opportunity to prepare this conversation with you, is that you and me make a commitment now that we're going to reserve some minutes of our days. Could be your early morning routine, could be your evening routine, could be both, for us to detach ourselves from this physical body, from the problems, and go in a higher place where faith prevails, confidence, security, everything there is fine, and breathe in that confidence in order to really empower our energy, our self-center. Every breath we take in that environment should really make us full of intention, full of drive, self-confidence. That certainly will help you and will help me. So I wish you guys all the best. I hope the messages and the reflections here have been useful for you as they have been for me. I hope I was able to, find the right words to express what I wanted with this message. And once again, let's close our eyes for our final prayer. Thanking God, thanking Jesus for, first of all, the opportunity to be here, for the opportunity for us to have the signs in life that indicates to us that we need to change. Sometimes these signs are actual problems, they are struggles, they are moments of high frustration, but they are all necessary, because throughout those we reinvent ourselves, we learn more about our own capabilities, and for sure we become stronger. And you and me, out of this discussion, out of this moment of prayer, we'll finish this relieved, we'll finish this grounded, And you and me are going to go back to our families calm, wishing them love, loving them as they are unconditionally. So I wish you all the best. Thanks so much, everyone. And I'll see you the other time. Bye-bye.